You don't have to buy a home in 2025. I know that probably goes against everything you're hearing right now. Renting is throwing away money. You're missing your chance. You need to buy before prices go even higher. But what if waiting actually puts you in a better position financially, mentally, and long term? I'm a real estate agent and I'm telling you, buying isn't the right move for everyone right now, not in this market. In this video, we're going to talk about why renting might be the smarter decision in 2025 and how to know if buying still makes sense for you. We'll break down the numbers, the risks, and the mindset traps that trip a lot of buyers up so you can make the decision that actually fits your life. Let's start with one of the most common misconceptions out there that renting is throwing money away. It's catchy, it sounds smart, but it's not true. Renting is paying for housing, just like a mortgage is. The difference is with renting, you're not locking yourself into a 30-year loan. You're not paying property taxes. You're not footing the bill when the water heater breaks down or the AC dies in the middle of July. That's not wasting money. That's paying for flexibility and freedom. And in some chapters of life, that flexibility is exactly what you need. So, when does renting actually make more sense? If your income isn't stable, maybe you're self employed, freelancing in a commission based role, work in an industry with varied hours like hospitality or retail, or going through a job transition, then locking into a mortgage can be a huge risk. A mortgage is due every month, no matter what your bank account looks like. If you don't have an emergency fund, renting gives you a buffer. As a homeowner, one major repair can wipe you out. And if you're already stretched just to buy, that can put you in a financial hole fast. If you know you're going to move again in the next 1 to 3 years, renting is almost always the better move. Most buyers need at least 3 to 5 years just to break even after paying closing costs, agent fees, and all the little moving expenses that add up. And if buying would make you house poor, meaning your payment eats up so much of your income that there's nothing left for savings, investing, or even living, that's not building wealth, that's building stress. In all of these situations, renting isn't just okay, it's smart. It buys you time to build up savings, stabilize your income, and move into home ownership on stronger footing. You can go to my website at workwithdang.com for free resources like a quick start home buying guide and a home buyer's course. I can help you find a real estate agent in your area. There's more information on my website. I make videos like this every week. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's talk about what makes 2025 especially tricky. Rates are still high, home prices haven't dropped the way people hoped, and even though there's a little bit more wiggle room with sellers, that doesn't mean homes are suddenly affordable. A house that used to cost $1,800 a month a few years ago might now run you $2,400 or more, and that's before you factor in taxes, insurance, and HOA fees. Plus, closing costs are no joke. You might need $8,000 to $15,000 or more upfront just to get to the closing table, and that's if you don't need a down payment or can't get the seller to help with closing costs. If you're not feeling confident in your numbers or you're looking at houses and thinking, man, I'd be stretching just to make this work, that's a signal. It doesn't mean that you're never going to be ready. It just means now might not be the time. That said, buying can still make sense. And for some people, 2025 might actually be the right time. If your income is stable and your mortgage payment would be similar to or even lower than your rent, locking in your housing costs now can be a solid long term play. If you qualify for programs like USDA, VA, or down payment assistance, and you're not emptying your entire savings account to make it work, buying might actually improve your financial picture even with higher rates. And if you're renting in a high cost area where rent keeps going up year after year, buying now might actually protect you from rising rent prices. A fixed rate mortgage locks in your principal and interest, even though your taxes and insurance might go up over time. Beyond the numbers, there's also lifestyle. Maybe you want to customize your space, stop moving every year, build equity, have more stability for your family or your career. Those reasons are just as valid as long as they're your reasons and not someone else's expectations. Renting with a plan is smart. Renting without a plan, that's what keeps people stuck. If you're renting while building credit, saving up, paying off debt, or getting clear on what you can afford, awesome. That's a strategy. That's momentum. But if you're renting and just kind of hoping things fall into place next year without doing anything different, that's where people get trapped. So if you think buying might be in your future, even if it's not this year, start now. Talk to a lender, even if you're not ready. Knowing your numbers gives you a target to work toward. Set savings goals. Build your emergency fund. Compare your rent to what a mortgage would look like in your area. Learn about the programs that might help. So when the time's right, you're not scrambling, you're already ahead. Everyone wants to time the market, buy at the bottom, wait for rates to drop, find the perfect moment. But the truth is, no one can predict any of that. What you can do is get your personal timing right. That means your income is stable, you've got some savings, you're not drowning in debt, you've run the numbers, and you feel confident, not pressured. That's when it makes sense to buy. Not because your lease is up and not because your cousin just bought a home and you're feeling behind. Buying a home works best when it fits your life, not just your FOMO. So, no, you don't have to buy a home in 2025. For a lot of people, this year is about getting ready, not rushing in. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're building stability, stacking up savings, or you're just not ready to take on the responsibility of homeownership, renting might be the smartest, safest move you can do right now. But if the numbers work, if the programs align, and if you feel ready, then buying could be the next step that sets you up long term. Whatever path you're on, don't let outside pressure make the decision for you. Make a plan, know your options, and take the next step when you're ready, and not just when the market tells you to. If you want to learn how to buy a home, check out this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out.